What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown. My name is Zach from Another Letdown Media and the This Is Difficult video game podcast. And this is the show where we hang out after we should have thought about going to bed on a Saturday night and work through the ridiculous backlog of miniatures we've accumulated over the years that need painting. There's an old adage that says if a miniatures painter ever runs out of projects to paint, he or she will die. So we're just trying to stave off death for as long as possible. And I don't do this alone. Joining me on the line, as always, my perennial painting partner, our resident monkey handler, it's Broody Gambit. Mike, how's it going?
Going great. Glad to be here.
Yeah, we had to take a week or so off for personal reasons. I guess it's been more than a week, right? Because Christmas and New Year's. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Your whole is awful.
Yeah, well, the plumbing situation at my house still very much up in the air as we settle back into things. But I did get some painting done just kind of on my own, which was really nice. It was nice to just hang out and paint quietly and not have to worry about what was going on. But that left me in an interesting spot, which we'll talk about in a minute. Yeah, so we've got miniatures. They need painting. We're going to do that. As with all the shows that we host here on the Another Letdown Media channel, as well as the This Is Difficult podcast network at large, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. So, let's paint. There's two of us. There's the button. Look what I did. I added overlays to tell people what we're painting.
Nice.
Yeah. It was in the system already, and I just never actually bothered to turn it on because I'm ridiculous, I guess. So these have square bases, and they're not superheroes.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm going off
That's
the beaten
odd.
path tonight. I'm working on my Chaos Dwarfs because Warhammer the Old World is available for pre-order right now. Games Workshop definitely not a sponsor, despite half their paint line being in front of me right now. But I decided to hammer out these ridiculous fire demon things while I was away, so that's what I'm working on tonight. All I got left is basing and maybe a little bit of fine-tuning on their metal bits, but we're gonna work on them, and then I've got some just regular run-of-the-mill Chaos Dwarfs bopping around as well, so we'll see if we can tackle some of them as well. What about you?
Sounds like a plan. I've got several characters from the Stormlight archives that are collectively known as Bridge 4. So since they're all in like similar uniforms, I figured I can paint like solid, like the colors of each of them through with relative ease.
A little bit of batch painting for you.
Yeah. And
this Sterling Battermeyer is dead. Hopefully this one's not. It is not. Okay, good. It's a bit of a blast from the past, really, painting with this stuff. I've done it in a while. See if I can remember how it works. I think the best policy here is to do them one at a time. So we'll move some of them off the battlefield here. Don't worry, boys, you're not dead yet. So Games Workshop, in their infinite whatever, in their infinite Games Workshop-ness, promised that Chaos Dwarfs rules for Chaos Dwarfs would be available. So far, we have not seen hide nor hair of that actually happening. Early days yet, but being that it's Games Workshop, I'm not super optimistic. I'm optimistic enough to want to get my Chaos Dwarfs done and battle ready, but so these are the dudes that were sort of the impetus behind me wanting to make lava bases in the first place. Because they are like living lava creatures. They're demons, I guess. Knowing the Chaos Dwarfs probably enslaved. Chaos Dwarfs are jerks. Like, they're awful.
Yeah.
As much as they are my army, and they always will be, they are awful, awful, awful jerks. I did see today that GW is re-releasing the square movement trays, which is going to be nice.
The square movement trays?
Yeah, so the Warhammer Fantasy hasn't existed for a number of years for whatever dumb reason they've concocted these days. And with the demise of Warhammer Fantasy Battles, they also discontinued the square movement trays. Which are used, obviously, to move large groups of square-based objects around the battlefield. But I did see them pop up in the web store today.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't know how many. Like, I don't need many. I'm pretty close to having what I need. But one or two would be nice. Like the other, like any other bases, I do doctor them up and make them look lava-y, lava-esque. And I like the way they come out. Makes transporting the models a lot easier too. I put little magnets in the base, in the bottom of them.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I'm nervous about, like, actually, when they announced when the Old World was going to be coming out, I was actually on my way to the store to repossess the minis that I've left there over the years. And I got there and I was like, my old boss was like, oh yeah, Old World coming this year. I'm like, well, guess I'm not actually picking these models up. Because undoubtedly, that is where I will be playing if I ever actually get to play. Presumably I will. At some point. That's fine. So how was your Christmas?
It was very good. I enjoyed it. It was good seeing the family. I hosted dinner. And so I got to do a lot of cooking again.
Always
had
good.
A lot of fun overall.
Yeah. I expected to be at my parents' anyway, but being stuck there for a whole week was aggravating.
Yeah. I can understand that. Did you get anything cool for Christmas?
Yes, I did. I got an Atari 2600 and 34 games for it.
That's a lot of games.
It is a lot of games. It won't be physically in my possession until August when my aunt can bring it up, but that was a pretty ridiculous moment. Like, I mentioned it on the stream the other day, but I'll happily tell this story again. Like, my uncle is a bigger fellow, and he's got a big bushy beard, and which is graying on him, and he kind of looks like Santa Claus in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
So the image of him climbing in a dumpster on Christmas Eve with a Santa Claus hat on has just kind of stuck in my head since I got that text from my aunt asking if I wanted the Atari. Now I doubt very much that that's actually what happened. I'm sure their neighbor was like, "Oh, do you know anybody who would want this?" And they, of course, thought of me. I don't know. It just tickled me to think that might be what happened.
Yeah.
But I am extraordinarily grateful, exceedingly grateful for that. My aunts and uncles and cousins and whatnot, like, we don't usually do gifts on Christmas unless it's like ridiculously perfect like that, you know? And then beyond that, I got some really cool socks.
Yeah.
Which, like, at our age, it's one of the best Christmas gifts you can get. I've always thought.
Mm-hmm.
You never have enough socks, especially when they're cool socks. I got a copy of Sherlock Holmes versus Dracula.
Okay.
Which I'm very excited to read. I got a toolkit for game repair, which is really nice.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, like just
and practical and useful.
Yeah, exactly. That was the kind of the name of the game this year for us. Practical, useful stuff. Like my wife got me an electric toothbrush because my dentist has been bugging me about it for years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And it's definitely something I would never buy for myself because I don't know, too frugal, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So I ended up getting some Marvel Champions decks.
Nice.
So I finished off the X Factor characters.
Oh, cool.
So that was Angel, Psylocke, X-23, and Deadpool.
Nice.
And then I got the leather-bound copy of Alloy of Law and Shadows of Self.
Don't know those.
Those are two Brandon Sanderson novels.
Okay, I was gonna say I presume those are Brandon Sanderson.
They're like Era 2 Mistborn.
That means nothing to me. I'm sorry.
In Mistborn, he has it set up to different eras. So like the initial one was like the Mistborn trilogy, and that is more of like a medieval fantasy type era. Alloy of Law takes place in what is Era 2, which is a Western.
Oh, okay. That's neat.
And then Era 3 is like 80s cyberpunk, which hasn't come out yet.
Okay.
But he has plans for it. And then Era 4 is like distant future sci-fi.
Interesting.
But it's all like in the same timeline and stuff, so it uses the same magic system, and everything's all works off of that.
Huh. That's cool. Back. I realized, I guess midway through 2022, that conventional fantasy writing really, like, it's just not for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put my finger on why. I guess I'm just sick of it. Because I read a lot of it in high school, you know. I read Shannara, and I read Drizzt, and I read, obviously, Lord of the Rings. And I just kind of, like, overwhelmed myself with it, and sort of tried to convince myself that that's what I should be reading.
Mm-hmm.
And really what brings me more joy, and I didn't discover this until later in life, is not actually sci-fi at all. It's crime fiction.
Yeah.
That's not to say that I don't like sci-fi or fantasy. I do. It's just not like primarily what I want to be reading.
Yeah.
I was telling my wife the other day that at the end of the day, right before bed, the thing that I want to, the place that I want to be is 221B Baker Street. Like I just, it is my happy place.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like I'm running perilously short on Sherlock Holmes books to read. I'm working on The Valley of Fear right now. Just finished Hound of Baskervilles last week. Actually read it cover to cover last week. And it's, you know, I've long since run out of Holmes pastiche books. I'm like, dang, what am I going to do next? Other than, I got the Dracula, Holmes vs. Dracula, but I'm very bummed that my guy, James Lovegrove, has moved on from Holmes. He has officially retired his Holmes writing career.
Yeah.
And, which, on the one hand, like, it gives me an opportunity to pick up the book, like, the physical copies of the books that I read on Audible, or I listened to on Audible. But, on the other hand, it's like, these are so good, and I want more. But, like, I also don't, I totally get it. You know, he wants to do other things, and I would never take that away from him. So was there anything else that you got for Christmas that was exciting?
I guess I didn't get it for Christmas, so I used like a gift card to get it. Was Super Mario Wonder.
Okay.
And
I have it. I have not played it yet.
It's awesome. It's amazing. I heard good things about it.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was excited about playing it. But like it's a Mario game, which is not a bad thing.
Right.
But like all of the talk of it like being like nominated for Game of the Year and stuff,
that was weird, right?
It was like it's a Mario game. Like how does this happen? Like it's great and Mario's a classic character, but like
is it really Game of the Year? Like
yeah, like how innovative can it be to like and what quality could it be to get it to be Game of the Year? And then I started playing it, was like, oh my god, this is Game of the Year. Like I completely understand how it like it was incredibly well done. It was very innovative. There's lots of neat mechanics and stuff that they added and changed, and like it is just a really refreshing Mario experience.
That's awesome to hear. I gotta be thinking at this point in the Switch's life that, you know, they're winding it down. Like there's obviously new hardware on the horizon. Like we're there, but for them to still be bringing high quality bangers like that, it's just really impressive. It shows a level of commitment to the character.
Yeah. I got it in the mail last Friday, and by Thursday night I had 100%ed it.
Wow.
Because I like played it nonstop for the most part. Awesome. It took a few breaks to play some Mech Warrior, but not much.
Like I said, I own it. I have not played it yet. My goal, my aim is to finish Prime Troid before I do Wonder.
Yeah.
I'm close. Like I've got basically all the upgrades. I've got a couple of boss fights left to go. Like it'll be fine. I'll get through it. I just need, like, I really wanted to do it before the end of 2023, but not being at home forced me to not be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to bring my Switch with me. Like, I forget what I was going to say. I don't get it. I did play through Pokemon Red again.
Okay.
Because why not, I guess? Really is where it came down to. I wanted to, like, when I played Pokemon Blue last time. Hello, Blink. Yes, it is kombucha time. Cheers. GT's Kombucha, not a sponsor, but Dave, let's talk. When I played through Blue version last time, I beat it to full completion, like full 151, without the use of any other cartridge. And I couldn't remember how I did it. So I went back and sort of figured it out again. I don't think, about to do that again because it was arduous and nonsensical. And I also don't think I left enough trainers to fly away from.
Yeah, wait, how did you 151 without another cartridge to trade from?
There's a glitch that allows you to key off of the special statistic. And if you apply the correct special statistic, you can encounter any of the 151 by flying away from a trainer. And then so you basically trigger a trainer in from off screen. The easiest one is on the route between Lavender Town and Saffron City.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a gambler that you can trigger in from off screen. You pause as his exclamation mark would come above his head, and then you fly away to Viridian City and hoof your way to... Oh, sorry, no. You fly away to anywhere where there's a trainer that you haven't already battled. And you trigger them from off-screen, or just from at least one space away. So they move toward you. Then it unlocks your game. You beat the trainer, you fly to Indigo Plateau, you encounter a Ditto, who then clones whatever you have in slot 1. You beat the Ditto, and then it locks the special value of your Pokemon in slot 1 into the memory of the game, and then when you fly back to Lavender Town and walk back onto that route, it'll open up the start menu. You close the start menu, and then it triggers a random encounter with a Pokemon keyed to whatever you whatever value matches your special.
Mm-hmm.
It's exceedingly complicated to explain verbally, but
It sounds like it.
Yeah, it's like, that's why I like, the whole time I was explaining that I was closing my eyes. Blink, next podcast should be tomorrow, assuming I have power. We're in the middle of a snowstorm here. And next Arkham, we're still struggling to schedule that. We're working on it. Sammy and Alex and I talked earlier this week. We all want to do it. Obviously, Jacqueline and I also talked, and Shamali is off this week, but for other reasons may or may not be with us. We're really trying hard to get that on the schedule. I just don't know. Like, we've been trying since October unsuccessfully. All right, how are we doing here? These are still very wet. I really don't want to paint with that flopping around, so I'll just go ahead and do these. Get some flesh color down on these boys while we wait for the Kadai to dry. So I picked up a proper Super Nintendo this week.
Awesome.
At the thrift store. It's the one we're going to turn into an arcade machine.
Mm-hmm.
I did boot it up just to make sure it worked. It does. It's not super reliable, but I think I can fix that. That's not what I'm going to have the students do. I don't want them to be discouraged by it. They don't have the same level of resilience for technological failure that I do.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with the Arkham streams, Blink, is I can really only like reasonably stream after the baby's gone to bed, and so that means an 8 o'clock start, which that's late. I mean an 8-hour game starting at 8, or a game that could take up to 8 hours. Starting at 8 is not good. So I have to schedule that stuff with my wife long ahead of time. Which is not always conducive for everybody else. Greg texted me probably 3 or 4 times over the break asking if I wanted to play Arkham, and the reality of the situation is, yes, of course I want to play Arkham, but I can't. Some flyaway bristles here. Where's... repairing one of my brushes quickly. I thought it was. So I had my first failed game repair job.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's a bummer. My coworkers' kids asked me to fix their switches, which were unfortunately just beyond my repair capabilities. I had one of them working long enough to be like, oh yeah, I'll order some parts and upgrade it and it'll be fine. And then as soon as I got all the parts installed, it stopped working again. And I was like, man, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
They're not upset about it. And I didn't charge. Obviously, I'm not going to charge them for it. But it sucks to give them back a broken device, especially when like the result of the device looks freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the sort of light blue switch light, and yeah. I installed pink buttons in it, and it looks super like vaporwave, like 80s. Exactly my aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really bummed that it doesn't work. So I started catching up on Loki.
Yeah, I still haven't seen either season.
I honestly, I'm not disappointed with the second season.
That does not sound like a ringing endorsement.
Oh no, it's supposed to. It's like I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
Like a lot more than I thought I would. I guess. He's a fun character, and that goes a long way. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I need a smaller brush. Oh, that's not water anymore. Okay, you need to go on the floor. You should not be here at all. So I guess Kevin Smith is working on another Jay and Silent Bob movie. I'm thinking to myself,
I guess reboots and blah blah blah.
Like, reboot was one thing, right? Like, it didn't bother me. It was fine. But it was certainly unnecessary. And I also felt like Clerks 3 tied up everybody's story. Like, what other possible hijinks are Jay and Silent are two ridiculous stoners going to get up to? Like, what story do you still have to tell with them? You know, I don't know. Maybe it's just that I want Mallrats 2,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like another Jay and Silent Bob movie is unnecessary. This dwarf is hilarious. He's got like his beer belly hanging out from underneath his armor.
So tickets went on sale for South Carolina Comic-Con.
Oh yeah. Anybody
Over
interesting coming?
just before the Christmas break, and Jim Lee's going to be there.
Oh, nice. He's great. I love Jim Lee.
I have not gotten a chance to meet him, so I'm very excited. I already got like my tickets in the past to meet him and blah blah all that good stuff. Because you have to like pre-order to get in line for him to autograph and all that.
Oh, weird. I worked with him a long time ago. He was super, super nice.
That's what I've heard.
Actually, I shouldn't say I worked with him. He visited Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's table while I was hanging out with them. Yeah, he was really great. He is, man. Got half a mind to send my Gen 13 #1 down for you to get signed.
Well, I get 3 autographs and I have at least one thing, but that's it.
Well, then I might do that. He was one of the creators of my favorite non-Big 2 team. We'll have to talk off camera about that one.
Yeah.
Because I would love to snag his on. I didn't own it at the time, and obviously I didn't expect him to come by our table, so... that's awesome. Anybody else notable coming to South Carolina?
I think they just announced Steranko.
Oh, nice.
Ashley Eckstein is going to be there.
Okay.
A couple other people that I'm less enthused about, or like I'm just kind of meh. I don't really care as much. There's usually several like wrestlers.
Of course.
And some other media guests, like some voice actors and people that I don't recognize or don't really care about.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the ladies from The Office is going to be there.
Yeah, it's probably Kate Flannery.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. She's been making the rounds lately.
So yeah, I have not looked at like the entire list, but
sure. Well, we've got Portsmouth MiniCon coming up, and I know that Kevin Eastman's going to be there. No word on Peter Laird yet, but if they're like Turtles #1 is next to Daredevil #1, one of the crowning jewels of my collection. Yeah. It's not a first printing; it's a third printing, but it's still on that oversized Mirage Studios stock. So I'm quite proud of it. It's in decent shape. I've always said that it is probably the only comic that I own that I would get slabbed if I got both creators to sign it. And if both of them show up and they have CGC grading on site, like so I don't have to mail it, I will probably do that. Regardless, I'm obviously going to get Kevin to sign it.
Yeah, if you have the opportunity, go ahead and get it done.
Yeah. It's one of those books that has meant a lot to me throughout my entire life, whether I knew it or not. You know, I was a big Turtles kid when I was really little. Kind of grew out of it for a while, and then super got back into it once I started hanging out with you and Adam and Shamali and the crew.
Okay.
This Chaos Dwarf has horns.
Any particular reason?
Probably because Hal from Horns decided it. Or maybe it's Harold from Horns. I don't know. I can't remember who's running the Horns department at Games Workshop anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The only ones I know for sure are Steve from the Skulls department and Ed from the Explosions department, yeah. Although Adam had a couple of good ones the other day. I don't remember what they were, but they made me laugh. My friend Joff had a whole list of them. I finally got my brush toilet working properly.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it is pretty impressive. All right, last guy.
Hack.
Huh?
Drop the mini.
Oh. I hate it when I find a piece of molding that somehow escaped me in the washing and like priming process and all that.
Yep.
Like these minis that I'm working on right now are many years old at this point. They are not new. They've been just sitting around on my workbench for ever. I just found that, so like I've had my, I've handled them plenty of times. I've looked at them over and over and over again. You'd think I'd have all the flashing done by now, but here we are. I guess that's one of the things I like about the big giant kits we've been getting lately.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot less mold lines to worry about, if any.
Speaking of kits,
Go on.
I need to fire up my 3D printer and start working on those awesome looking Arkham minis.
Yeah, you've been sending those to us pretty regularly. Unfortunately, Alex and I are so far behind on the official ones that like I can't even look at them right now without feeling guilty.
I like how they're posed like the art from the card game, though.
Yes.
Like, I would like to print them off and paint them in order to use to play. Instead
We
of like
have
the
these
investigator cards.
awesome laser cut plastic standees
Mm-hmm.
that we use. They're really uninvasive, and I think that's what I like about them. Oh, hey, RPD. What's going on? Distracted by video games, always a valid excuse. You know that. Oh, this guy's face is extra derpy. Fabulous Fear Machine. Yeah. In blatant self-parody, the only game I've played in the last 24 hours is Super Metroid. And it was Super Metroid Arcade. But I did buy boxes, like aftermarket or like repro boxes for my entire Metroid collection. Other than the Super Famicom one. Because the guy did not have that one. It's still tacky. Yeah, I'll give it another moment. What else do I have bopping around over here? I guess we'll go to Lead Belcher.
The mainstay.
Yep. Despite moving to TT Combat for these, for consistency purposes, I'm sticking with GW on these last few Chaos Dwarfs, just because they are indeed the last few. Like I've got these 6 Kadai, a couple War Machines, and then the Kadai Destroyer, which is not quite finished yet to do. And then Chaos Dwarfs are just done, so I figure I might as well keep them the same.
Yeah.
You know what I started recently replaying RPD? I don't know if I mentioned it. I started playing StarCraft again. God, I love that game. Just kind of blitzing through the campaign off camera. Hopefully I'll find some time to play StarCraft 2 also. I've got the whole thing and I've never played it. But StarCraft was like my game when I was a kid. And I guess, Broody, I don't know if you saw this, but we are apparently one step closer to having a private server for Marvel Heroes.
Huh?
I guess somebody got the source code for Marvel Heroes.
Uh-huh.
And I'm really, like, I would love to play that game again. It was so much fun. And to play it, my gods, to play it on a private server with like you and Shamali and Adam and, you know, just a few people would be so much fun. And from what I understand, all the character data that people had before the servers went down is stored locally, just currently inaccessible. So my level 60 Daredevil is still viable.
That's cool.
Yeah. 60 is cap, for reference.
Yeah.
Killer is Dead. I've not heard of that one, RPD. I also did a couple of rounds of Hades this week.
How'd you do?
All right. I don't know. It wasn't. They weren't great runs, but I was challenging myself. My builds were kind of mediocre. Just couldn't seem to get the right boons.
Mm-hmm.
And Asphodel always has my number. Like, I'm playing with the fist, so I always, like, really with the fist, the strat is, or the strat that I use is run around and dash attack things.
Mm-hmm.
And I end up dash attacking right into the lava. So I take a lot of damage in Asphodel, which usually I can heal up in Elysium, but if I die to the Hydra, then oops. Which is exactly what happened. But the nice thing about Hades is the plot advances whether you succeed in your run or not in the late game. So I like that game a lot. It's very, very relaxing. Like, relaxing is not necessarily the right word, but like, it's chill. It's easy, straightforward. RPD, I acknowledge that you've written something. I need to focus for a second. Part of the Grasshopper Studios Suda 51 Ouvra. Last game they did before their big hiatus. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, RPD, Circus Electrique. Wow, what a game. Game was a lot of fun. I was bummed I couldn't play it yesterday. We were definitely right to have our attentions peaked when we saw it debut back in the day. Yeah. There's definitely a lot going on, but it's like it's exactly what I want to be doing. It's like I want to be analyzing all this stuff. I want to be, examining this, that, and the other thing, and then here's a little surprise. It provides me really good opportunities for commentary too. But you're right, it is like 2 to 3 games worth of stuff, all flying at you all at once. Bot says no spam. Oh, yes. I will be right back. The cat is bothering my wife.
The cat?
Yeah.
I think that's all really one.
Dum Dum was out of food and knocking things over in the bathroom.
Sounds like an appropriate response.
For a cat, I suppose. For a human being trying to sleep, less so.
Yeah.
Once again, GW not having any intention of people painting their minis once they're done. This guy just has all the tools. Like 4 wrenches on his belt. What do you need 4 wrenches for?
In case something's really stuck.
I guess. If something's really stuck, you just, throw fire at it.
Can't be stuck if it's a liquid.
Yeah. I did see some of the new models for Warhammer the Old World, and they are absolutely gorgeous. The first 2 armies out the gate are Bretonia and Tomb Kings. So it's like Grail Knights and skeletons.
Sounds exciting.
I'm actually really there for that. I think that's really cool. I'm just happy I don't have to buy anything new.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, though, what all these Age of Sigmar dorks are going to be doing come Warhammer the Old World. Because the Sigmar bases... Shout out for the Bretonians for being back. Yeah, exactly. It's been a long time for them, RPD. They're like, oh, but I wanted to play Fantasy 9th Edition, or the Old World. But all my stuff is on circle bases. Well, sucks to be you, I guess. Some of us just kept the faith.
Take your things off and put them on different bases.
Yeah.
Or just get square bases and put the circle bases on top of them.
Well, unfortunately, that doesn't work as easily as it sounds. The square bases are slightly smaller than the smallest circle bases. And then they don't match. They don't rank up. Which is tremendously unfortunate.
Did I tell you that I built a Magic Commander deck?
You did. And I think I trashed on Magic when you said it, which fair point to be made here. Not trashing on you for playing Magic, trashing on Magic for being a game that exists at this point.
Yeah. But I got all the cards in, got some games in with my coworker.
Nice.
Which is the entire reason I got it, was just to play some casual, fun games with him. And some of my other friends who still have it, but not like constantly buy packs and blah 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 and all that.
Right.
Money sync stuff. It works fine. I enjoy it.
Good. Imagine enjoying things. Yeah. Seems unrealistic, RPD. No. Although I'd be lying if I said there wasn't a Magic channel that I watch occasionally too. Actually, a couple. Wait, he's been a long time since I picked the point of that. I miss it, sort of. Oh, I still gotta get Chaos Dwarf blunderbusses. They're just strictly worse than Fireglaves, so I don't think about them.
Mm-hmm.
But I only have like 2. Okay, so this guy basically pulls a random MTG card from a database and uses it as a jumping off point to talk about something tangentially related. Oh, that's kind of cool. Unfortunately, the latest sets have kind of broken that wide open. Because literally everything is Magic now.
Yep. Hence I'm able to build a Tomb Raider deck.
I saw that Tomb Raider 1 through 3 are being remastered for the Switch.
Yep. Comes out on Tomb Raider's birthday, February 14th.
Oh, that makes sense. Those are, like, the original Tomb Raider games for PlayStation. I definitely played them.
Yeah.
And probably all the way through. Because those were the games that my buddy and I used to play after our homework was done. When his mom would watch us after school.
Yep.
I don't have a particularly strong memory attached to them, other than the obvious, as a teenage boy. But like, they are fun. They are definitely fun.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, friendship is also Magic at this point. RPG, that is very true. Actually, hold on. Give me half a second here. But like, I'm not super motivated to buy the Tomb Raider games on Switch. As cool as they, I do remember them being fun games, and they're and challenging too.
Mm-hmm.
I would add. Oops, that's my microphone being smacked by my chair. He does these great April Fool's Day specials where he gets a guest speaker to talk about a card from a different game entirely. I went dredging back in the, like, two of them were Turkey Vulture from Wingspan and Paperclip from Netrunner. Nice. I went dredging in the back for, I have some of the Ponies the something, right? Ponies the Galloping expansion for Magic. Alright, I think these are finally dry enough that I can start painting the lava.
Lava.
I haven't seen this technique on the show in a while. But it is not difficult. I have intentionally left gaps in the Sterling Battlemire with which to paint red. And then working from the inside out, or from the outside in rather, I will be progressively painting it toward yellow. Which gives the illusion of lava, which is exactly what I did with the die themselves. And then you just kind of finish them up with black around the edge. Not for the faint of heart. So I said earlier that we're staring down the barrel of another snowstorm up here.
Mm-hmm.
First real one of the season, that should be clear. And so I had to go to Target today to pick up a couple of things, and it was just there were people everywhere, and it made me so angry.
We were supposed to have our first winter weather storm today, but it was supposed to be freezing rain overnight, and it didn't.
Well, you dodged the bullet. We're supposed to get 8 to 10 inches tonight. Which means I will spend my day tomorrow shoveling snow. Alright, there's... Oh, I'm working off camera. Someone should have told me.
Hmm?
Nothing. I'm just griping. About my inability to keep things on camera.
Join the club.
So, what are your feelings on the Echo TV show?
I have no feelings. I have not seen the trailer, nor do I really have any sort of attachment to the character or anything else.
The only attachment I have to the character herself is that she was created by one of my favorite creators.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously she's Daredevil canon.
Yeah.
That's really the only reason I care about the show in any way, shape, or form. It's like Daredevil's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds to me like Marvel Netflix Daredevil is officially MCU canon now. Which makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Because that show was great.
Yes, it was.
What really excites me, though, I think about the whole thing, is that Vincent D'Onofrio, still, he acknowledges that they did something right with Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
It was a just solid piece of work. Everybody just brought their A game to it, and the result was fantastic. And when you hold something as a gold standard like that, it does motivate you on some level to do it again, to continue that, to perform at that level.
Mm-hmm.
And when he showed up in Hawkeye, I was like, oh wow, yeah, he's still bringing it.
Yeah. Which I had not even have not seen Hawkeye yet either.
It's good. Is it my favorite part of the TV MCU? It probably is.
This is 3 medium 10.
Ouch. People existing make you angry too, huh, RPD? Yep. Hell is other people, Archie. So I ordered the replacement game boxes from some guy on Etsy.
Yep.
And he does a really fantastic job. I mean, really, really quality work. But he forgot to include the game manual for Metroid Fusion and the box insert for Metroid 2.
Mm-hmm.
So now I gotta wait more. I'm sad. When I first started buying cartridges, old cartridges, I was like, why would I want the boxes? Like, that just takes up more space. But there are certain games that just warrant having the original kit,
Yeah.
My Mega Man NES cartridges will be next. Those are the next ones I'm going to scoop up. Red on the base. I gave half of mine to just like undercoating the bases with red before I started. And just painting them all red completely. I don't know why I chose not to. I guess because I hadn't done it on any of the others and I wasn't sure if it was going to work. Got our first skate day of the year yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, always fun.
You have fun?
Yeah. It's a good time. We had to share the ice with a lot of other people, which was a bummer, but our students handled it really well. Like they were really respectful. Similar cannot necessarily be said for the bus driver, however. They were not particularly respectful toward her. Which made it so that I had to pull them all into my classroom afterward and be like, "Look, you can't do that. I know it's not your regular bus driver. That doesn't mean you show any. You treat her with disrespect. Like, come on. Unlike you, I still have to work with this person on Monday because she is the mother of one of my students at the other school. You need to show some respect." It was disheartening. 10 years, I've never had a problem on a bus. Frankly, I was quite surprised that they have enough energy to be obnoxious.
After ice skating all day?
Yeah. What do you mean by forging new frontiers, RPD? I know it's a part of an older conversation, but it's been leering at me for a while. That'll work. Stupid jerk paint pot. Oh, yeah. This should come as a surprise to absolutely no one. And I'll give you 3 guesses as to what will come next after that. And the first 2 don't count. All right. Hey, let go of him. No guesses, RPD? Oh, good. Good. Excellent. And that should put Bruins firmly into second place. No? Oh, they've had more overtime losses. Okay. That's unfortunate.
Hockey's?
Yeah, hockey. Somehow, Winnipeg is in first in the NHL right now, which makes no sense to me. And then the Rangers have less overtime losses than the Bruins, which is unfortunate. Yeah, it'll be Zelda, for sure. How do I do this? I don't remember. What's going on here? Interesting. Why am I whispering?
I don't know.
I genuinely have no idea. It's like sitting here mumbling to myself. painted on? Huh. It's not working the way I expected it to. So, trying a different tactic. Rather than dry brushing, we are painting very lightly.
You know what they say, if at first you don't succeed, skydiving's not for you.
I thought it was if you're... If at first you don't succeed, try another sewer. Maybe that comes from reading too many Ninja Turtles comics.
Yeah. Now, so rock and Lopen. I need to mix the tan with white because they are lighter skinned.
Oh, the first two didn't count. Zelda Ridge Racer. I don't have Ridge Racer, oddly. I still do have to get a box for River City Ransom, though. And maybe Clash of Demon Head. The Clash of Demon Head box is actually really dope. Two down. There. Right. Let's put these three back up and out of the way. It's a shame I didn't have the fluorescent paints when I started doing the Chaos Dwarfs.
Yeah, that would have looked really dope.
Right. But that was many years ago. In fact, that might have been before I even knew there were other paint systems, you know, worthy of even my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I started, I knew Vallejo existed. I guess I casually knew that Army Painter existed, but, like, never really paid them any mind.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, I don't want to use GW paints for anything if I can help it. Says the guy using exclusively GW paints right now. So it looks like Alex and Sammy and I are officially going to PAX East this year.
Nice.
Yeah. We'll be, as per usual, working for Greater Than Games.
Mm-hmm.
We got the call up from Christopher a few weeks ago. Got all the details formalized earlier this week. Not sure what we're going to be showing off yet, but I have my inklings.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's one of two things. I can't talk about either of them, I don't think, but well, I mean, I guess people know they exist. It's just to be on the safe side, I'm just not going to say anything, but if you're going to be at PAX East, come find us. We will be hanging out. You'll find me in a sort of Carolina blue soccer shirt and a Handheld Legend beanie. I know Handheld Legend will not be there, but I told them I'd represent the brand anyway. We are allegedly they're working on. I just don't know. I don't want to say. I don't want to overstep my boundaries, RP. That's all. And besides, I might have to kill you. And that'd be no fun. Then I have to deputize Blink as a mod, and I can't tell you, it's confidential. Oh. Looks like you got it anyway. I didn't even see your comment. That must be one of those G14 classified type things. FBI type stuff. Not my best Chris Tucker impression, but... I would love, at this point in time, another Rush Hour movie. I am ready for it.
I'm not.
No?
Like, I love them, but it's like, once again, like, they've done it, and now it's like, you can move on. Like, 3 wasn't that great.
Okay, sorry. I should be clear. I would like another Rush Hour type movie.
Oh, like a buddy cop movie?
Yeah, a good buddy cop comedy.
Yeah, because not even to mention like they try to make the TV show for Rush Hour.
Yeah, that was hot garbage.
That was so bad.
That was hot garbage. But I also think that part of the reason that was hot garbage is Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan weren't in it.
Mm-hmm.
They are Rush Hour.
Yeah.
I didn't hate Rush Hour 3. I actually quite enjoyed it. But I see what you're saying completely. Oh my gosh, RPD. Come with me on this journey. Tommy Wiseau, Greg Sestero buddy cop movie. I'll tell you, the one buddy cop movie I do not want to see is a Hot Fuzz 2. I don't think we need it.
Yeah, that would be also a bad idea.
Right?
Nor do they need to make a Lethal Weapon 5.
Accurate. And that's coming out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ugh. I think I saw the first one.
I love the Lethal Weapon movies. Like 1 through 4 were great.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's run its course.
Yeah.
The TV show wasn't bad. Like I enjoyed it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It came out around the time that Rush Hour did as well.
Yeah.
They're trying to like capitalize on buddy cop movies or something.
Yeah. Are you making an Always Sunny joke, RPD? I thought so. I am woefully behind on Always Sunny. Like, woefully behind. Okay, now I remember how I did this.
Very carefully.
That's not the word I would use. But it's not like traditional dry brushing. It's actually, if anything, it's wet brushing. It's like, it's the same technique as dry brushing. You just don't take quite as much paint off.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I can move my wet palette out of the way. I'm not going to use it for the rest of the night, so. Why is that all wet? Oh, probably because we're sitting on there. Okay. Dumb question. Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. All right, now we're back to business. So I have been reading a really fun series lately, or listening to, I guess I should say.
What's that?
The Thursday Murder Club.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 4 dottery old pensioners who solve mysteries.
Okay.
It's delightful. I think I might have mentioned it before. I know I have to RPD at least. I'm on book 4 now, and I don't know how he hasn't run out of material yet for these old people, but like he keeps he keeps finding new ways to make it interesting, and it's really nice. And on some level, it does appeal to the Arkham Horror player in me, too, because you get, like, the Gloria Goldberg-type characters who have no business investigating the Cthulhu mythos, and yet here we are.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to swap to one of my brushes that's not quite as nice because I'm ruining this brush. Yes, I believe this Army Painter brush will work nicely. Some of the best adventures start out as characters getting knee-deep in things that their character... Yeah, exactly. And it's like, one of the pensioners in the story is former MI5. Like, you know, she knows what she's doing, at least. But clearly hasn't done it in many years. I think my favorite characters are the ones who just have the least amount of business doing it. Like, there's a psychiatrist, sure, I get it. But the nurse and the trade union employee are the funniest. Because they just have absolutely no business being there. Alright, there's those three done. With that color.
Let's say, I think I need to call it.
So yeah, I'm running out of steam here. I'm just gonna finish this guy and call it good. I'll finish the rest of these tomorrow during nap time. Right. This raises the question of when you, if we're being honest, Jerry Reagan Arkham session based on... Oh! Ooh, that's good, RPD! So what would we have? We'd have Roland Banks, Bob Jenkins, is there a nurse character? There's the doctor.
Yeah, there's Vincent Lee, who's the doctor, and then you have Carolyn Fern, who's a psychiatrist.
So I guess that's it? Is that the 4? That might just be the 4.
If you are taking into consideration the time frame of the 20s, you could probably make a case that the nun like Sister Mary might qualify as a nurse.
Maybe, but there's other side characters too. Like there is a nun.
Yeah.
In the first, or rather, well, that's Father Mateo, I guess. Priest.
Well, yeah, Father Mateo is the priest, but Sister Mary's the nun.
Right. And then you get Hank Sampson, the would be the Bogdan character. Bogdan is like the hired muscle, basically. He also ends up being the killer in the first book. Spoilers. But like with really good reason, which is funny. There's the cops. So I guess you get Tommy Muldoon and Joe Diamond.
Yeah.
And I could like re-illustrate the cards with the characters from the books. That could be fun. I'm into that idea, RPD. Don't let me forget that one. Look forward to it on the next episode of Tales from the Archive. Oy, that show. Alright, we're up to orange. But I think with that, on that horrible whatever that was, it is time to end. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube if you're watching it there. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the channel and all that stuff. You know, we do this because we love doing it. That's the bottom line. And even a quiet night like this is always fun. So, Mike, thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Not a problem. It was a lot of fun. Got some work done.
Yeah, we did. We did. Finally, some of the projects staring me in the face. Say again?
Probably not as much progress as I was hoping to make, but
yeah,
working on 5 minis is
exactly like I got the 6 Kadai plus the 3 dwarfs over here, and it on the surface level it barely looks like I made any progress at all, but like I'm just happy to have them not black anymore, you know.
Yeah.
So we will be back next week. Yes. Broody, that's a question for you.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Possibly.
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain. We will try to be back next week. I will be back on Monday playing Circus Electrique because that game is awesome. Indie games rock, and don't ever forget it. And that's more of a mental note for me than for anybody else. And yeah, so have a great rest of the weekend. Tune into the This Is Difficult podcast if we have one tomorrow. I'm not sure what Josh's work schedule is bringing about this week, but we'll do our best to be live. Take care, everybody. Be safe, be well, and we'll talk to you real soon. Bye.
See ya.